Rice. Soft, fragrant, comforting rice. It's part of so many cultures, meals, and memories. But if you're living with diabetes, that comforting bowl can also feel like a guilty pleasure. Maybe you've been told to stay far away from it because it spikes blood sugar. Or perhaps you've tried to give it up, but always come back for just one bite. Don't worry, you're not alone. Today we'll uncover the real science behind rice and diabetes, and more importantly, how you can still enjoy it without throwing your glucose levels out of balance. I'm Dr. Zari, an internal medicine specialist who has worked with thousands of diabetic patients for nearly 3 decades. My passion is helping people turn complicated health science into something they can actually use in daily life. So let's talk about rice, not as a villain, but as a food we can understand and manage wisely. Let's start with what really happens in your body when you eat rice. Rice is mostly made up of starch, which is a chain of sugar molecules linked together. When you chew and digest it, your body breaks those chains down into glucose, the main fuel for your cells. The trouble comes from how fast this process happens. White rice, in particular, is digested very quickly, flooding your bloodstream with glucose and causing a rapid rise in blood sugar. Think of it like an express train with no stops, rushing straight to your bloodstream. This speed is measured by something called the glycemic index, or GI for short. The higher the GI, the faster your blood sugar spikes. White rice has a high GI, often over 70. Brown rice, on the other hand, has more fiber, which slows digestion. It's like a train that makes several stops before reaching its destination, giving your body time to handle the glucose more gently. To make this more real, let me tell you about one of my patients. We'll call her Sarah. Sarah is 52, a loving mother, and absolutely devoted to her rice. Breakfast leftovers, lunch plates, dinner sides. Rice was her comfort food. But her blood sugar readings told a different story. Every time she had rice, her glucose would jump to 250. She was tired of feeling punished for loving something that felt like home. Instead of banning rice from her life, we decided to study it together. We started by observing what rice actually did to her readings. Sure enough, when she ate a full serving of white rice alone, her numbers spiked fast. But when she paired the same amount of rice with vegetables and protein, her post-meal glucose was much steadier. That's just when it clicked for her. It wasn't the rice alone that was the problem. It was how and how much she ate. This brings us to the bigger truth. Rice itself isn't bad. The problem lies in portion size and pairing. Rice is pure carbohydrate. When it's the main part of your meal, it overwhelms your blood sugar control. But when it's just one part of a balanced plate with enough protein, fiber, and healthy fats, it behaves very differently. Here's a simple rule I teach my patients. Use your fist as a guide. Half a cup of cooked rice, about the size of your fist, is a reasonable portion for most diabetics. Let rice share the stage, not steal the show. The rest of your plate should be half vegetables and 1/4 lean protein, such as fish, chicken, or beans. This kind of balance helps your body slow down digestion, flatten the glucose curve, and keep you full longer. Another trick is food order. Start your meal with fiber and protein, a salad, vegetables, or some lean meat, then finish with rice. Studies show that when you eat carbohydrates last, your blood sugar may rise up to 40% less than if you ate them first. Think of it as giving your body a warm-up before the sugar race begins. You can even change how you cook your rice to make it friendlier. When you cook rice and then cool it down, something special happens. Part of the starch turns into what scientists call resistant starch, a form that your body digests more slowly. That means fewer carbs are absorbed and your glucose stays more stable. So go ahead and cook your rice ahead of time, refrigerate it overnight, and reheat it the next day. It tastes the same, but behaves better inside you. Now, let's compare types of rice. Most people assume brown rice is always the healthiest. It is true that brown rice contains the bran germ, the outer layers that hold fiber, magnesium, and vitamins. That extra fiber makes it slower to digest and a bit lower on the glycemic index. But brown rice is not a miracle food. It still contains carbohydrates and eating too much will raise blood sugar. For people with sensitive stomachs or kidney issues, its higher phosphorus content can sometimes cause discomfort. So the goal is moderation, not endless brown rice. If you prefer white rice, there are better options even within that category. Long-grain basmati rice, for example, tends to have a lower glycemic index compared to short-grain varieties. It digests more slowly and results in a gentler glucose response. Wild rice, though technically not the same plant, is even richer in fiber and protein, but it's often expensive and not available everywhere. So if basmati or brown rice are accessible, they're both smart choices when eaten in small portions. Back to Sarah. Once she understood these concepts, we set up a simple experiment. For 1 week, she ate white rice every day at lunch, measuring her sugar 2 hours later. The next week, she replaced it with brown rice. Her readings dropped from 210 after white rice to about 165 after brown. Not perfect, but progress. Then we worked on portion control and meal pairing. Within 3 months, her 1C dropped from 7.8 to 6.9. She didn't quit rice. She just learned to make it work for her. Her success shows what I tell all my patients. Diabetes management isn't about giving up the foods you love. It's about learning how to enjoy them smartly. Rice doesn't have to be banned from your kitchen. It simply has to earn its place on your plate. Let's go over the key points to remember. Keep portions small. Half a cup is plenty. Always combine rice with vegetables and lean proteins. Avoid sugary drinks with your meal. Stick to water, lemon water, or green tea. Try cooling and reheating your rice to increase resistant starch. Eat your vegetables and proteins before your carbs. And most importantly, listen to your glucose meter. It's your personal feedback system. Check your blood sugar before and 2 hours after eating. If it rises more than 50 points, adjust your portion next time. When you look at rice through this new lens, it becomes a tool you can control rather than a temptation that controls you. For many people, rice carries emotional weight. It reminds them of family dinners, cultural traditions, and comfort. And those memories matter. You don't have to abandon them. You just have to adapt them. So the next time you sit down with a plate of rice, smile and remember, knowledge gives you power. You can savor the flavor, enjoy the meal, and still protect your health. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. Every small improvement in how you eat adds up to a healthier life. If this message helps you rethink your relationship with rice, share it with someone who might need the same encouragement. And if you'd like to learn how to enjoy bread safely as a diabetic, that's what we'll talk about next. Because living with diabetes is not about deprivation. It is about discovering smarter ways to keep the foods you love in your life. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.